What's up, everybody? Recovery. Like I always let you guys know, like, share, subscribe. Also, if you know anyone struggling with addiction, let me know in the comments. I'll gladly help you guys find any resources I can for rehabs or just any type of recovery resources I can help you round up. Also, just want to touch base on denial. I was reading this earlier, there's a acrostic on it, so I wanted to read this to you guys and kind of go over it. So, the D in denial is for disables feelings, and I know for me, growing up, I had an addict mother. My brother was quite a bit older; he was an addict as well. So, I didn't have, it disabled my feelings towards addiction. I thought it was so normal. It was such a big part of my life that, it just was a huge part of my life. It seemed so normal, and it definitely was not a normal part of my life. The gray line got further and further. So it definitely disabled my feelings, because there was lines I thought I'd never cross that I ended up crossing, and that was all due to it losing my feelings, disabling a lot of my feelings from my addiction. So we're going to move on to the E, and that's energy loss. If you say you didn't have energy loss from addiction, it definitely, just think of the energy wasted to feed your addiction, the way energy wasted, seeking out your drug of choice, and I mean, it was just hours upon hours. To me, it was, a daily grind just to feed my addiction for quite many years. Next one is the N in denial, and that's negates growth. And this is a big one that hit me, when I first got into recovery after the first 18 months of really being plugged into recovery. I started realizing that my mental growth, and the things I thought were normal and grew up with and stuff like that, how skewed my reality was on this, because having an addict mother, my behavior was just very, what I thought was okay was very skewed, and that a lot of that was because I would measure myself to the addicts and the junkies around me. So as long as that's how I would justify how I was doing in life, as long as I'm doing better than the junkie next to me. And I've realized I try to put myself around successful people as much as possible, because you always will strive to, the type of people you're around. So if you're around successful people, you're going to always strive for better. The I in the denial is isolates from God or your higher power. Excuse me, you guys, for those you don't know, I'm Leo Vaughn, so this is a little bit of small print for me. But anyways, it definitely, for me, isolated me from God, my higher power, because, I thought I wasn't good enough to go get plugged into a church and these things. And luckily, the first recovery group, 12-step group I was in, was CR, and that really was a blessing, because it got me plugged into a local church who, sponsored the 12-step program there, and that made me feel comfortable to get plugged into that church, and it gave me positive people I never had in my life. Like I said, my dad was the only person in my immediate family who wasn't an addict, so, it took me some years later that I got to rebuild my relationship with him, and this is at me being 30 years old, with him having, being in a nursing home at this point, that I got to kind of fix our relationship and realize, his actions, a lot of stuff I thought he was so mean for was due to him dealing with my mother as an addict, my brother ended up an addict, and me being an addict. So a lot of that was the actions of the addicts in his family that cost him a lot of stress and grief. The next one is the A in denial, and that is for alienates us from our relationships, and it will definitely alienate you from all positive relationships. If you're in bad codependent relationships or dysfunctional ones, it won't hurt that, because, like I said, I used with some people in my family and things like that, and I've had to alienate myself a little bit now, because I got to be careful that I don't put myself out there trying to save any of my family who's out there using, because I got to just make sure I keep myself on my right path for my family and my daughter, and that's my main drive right now, is just keeping myself right. But it will alienate you from all healthy relationships you have. The L is lengthens pain. I lived in denial because you know, I was surrounded by nothing but drugs and hustling from, let's say, 14 on, and it just grew from weed and alcohol and, you know, things like that, and to getting into pills around 18, and then to coke, heroin, and everything else, and being a complete addict by the age of 21. So it definitely links into pains, guys. So I just want to share this acrostic with you. I plan to bring some more literature out to bring on here. Just wanted to share this today because, you know, it sounds kind of silly, but if you look at it, all these things are so true, man. You know, when you're in denial, these are all things that we do as addicts. And, you know, all I can say is, you know, if you have today and you're alive, you have hope for tomorrow. Plug into positive people, you know, and that's, you know, you got people who want to help you in churches and 12-step, you know, AA, NA, Celebrate Recovery. You got people who really want to help addicts out there, and that will, if you ain't gonna ride, they'll gladly help you. Plus, there's all kinds of recovery here on YouTube, so, you know, plug into that. So, just want to share this with you guys. I'll be on here tomorrow. You guys stay up, stay sober. Say bye.